There's a particular kind of silence that comes with giving up. It's not the silence of peace, but the silence of surrender. You see it in people's eyes, sometimes like a light has gone out. They aren't depressed, but there's a void that forms when a person accepts that the life they truly imagined for themselves just is ungoing to happen. Maybe you know someone like this. Maybe once upon a time you were someone like this. Someone who had a dream that they wanted so badly it hurt. And then, at some point, they stopped wanting it. Moved on. They accepted a different life. They told themselves they were being realistic, that they were growing up. But giving up on a dream isn't just a single decision. It's a psychological process built on a series of small compromises. It's rationalization. It's fear, carefully disguised as wisdom. It's pain, dressed up as acceptance. We don't give up all at once. We do it incrementally. We start by lowering the bar. I'll aim for this smaller version instead. Then we take a temporary job just to pay the bills, just until we get back on track. Except we never get back on track. The temporary job becomes permanent, and that small compromise shapes the rest of our life. One day you wake up and realize 5 years have passed, or 10, and the dream is gone. The real psychological shift is the narrative we construct. We become expert storytellers, reframing the surrender as maturity. I was being impractical, we say. That dream wasn't realistic. We convince ourselves we're being responsible now. And technically, we're not wrong. But underneath that narrative is the real story. A deep-seated fear and a belief that we do undeserve the things we truly want. People who give up often describe it as relief. I am so glad I stopped chasing that. What was I even thinking? But relief and resignation feel exactly the same there, both a release of tension. The difference is where they lead. Relief leads to movement. Resignation just leads to more of the same. The real tragedy is what happens to you internally. When you surrender a dream, you're not just giving up on an outcome. You're giving up on a version of yourself. The version that believed. The version that was willing to risk. That version gets packed away, stored in a dark corner of your mind. In its place comes a new version, a safer version, a smaller version, one that knows better than to hope. And this smaller self becomes subtly more cynical, more dismissive of other people's dreams. They make little jokes about people who are still trying. Oh, they'll learn eventually. There's a quiet cruelty under those observations, born from the pain of someone who surrendered, watching someone else still in the fight. They need to pull others down just to justify their own retreat. We often end up stuck in a loop. We think about the dream sometimes, usually late at night, usually when we're alone. We feel that ache, that what if that never truly goes away? And then we push the thought away because dwelling on it highlights the gap between who we are and who we could have been. This is the hard part. But we have to look at what led to the surrender. People don't give up on dreams for no reason. It's almost never about the fear of failure, which is what we tell ourselves. It's about growing up in environments where dreaming was dangerous, where wanting something meant you were setting yourself up for disappointment, where the message was clear: don't get your hopes up, don't want too much, don't believe in yourself like that, because it only ends in pain. If you've felt that silence of surrender, know that you're not alone, and know that reclaiming that belief in yourself is the first step back into the light. Have you ever known someone who decided that trying was dangerous? That wanting something with all your heart was just a recipe for humiliation? Maybe they watched a parent or a sibling chase a dream and get completely destroyed by it. They saw the disappointment, the bitterness, the what-ifs poison their entire life. So they made a decision: I won't let that happen to me. I won't want something that badly. For others, the message was different. They grew up in unstable situations where dreams were a luxury you couldn't afford. The focus was survival. Bills had to be paid. Mouths had to be fed. Wanting something for yourself felt selfish, so they learned to suppress that desire, to push it down and focus only on what was necessary. And sometimes it's more subtle. Nobody tells you not to dream, but you feel it. You feel the skepticism when you talk about your passions, the dismissal, the lack of encouragement. It makes you feel like your dreams don't matter, and eventually you stop believing in them yourself. The real tragedy is that giving up becomes a pattern. You give up on one dream, and it's easier to give up on the next. You start to believe that effort is pointless, that you're just not the kind of person dreams come true for. Your world gets smaller. Your identity becomes, I'm realistic, or I'm content with what I have. But are you really content, or are you just safe? Is fine really fine, or is it just another word for empty? Giving up doesn't actually protect you from pain. It just changes the flavor. Instead of the sting of trying and failing, you get the dull, constant ache of regret, of wondering, what if? The pain of looking back and realizing you spent your life playing small because you were afraid. But here's what's important. Some people can come back from this. They can grieve what they lost, face the fear that made them quit, and understand that one past failure doesn't define their future. It's scary. It means admitting you spent years running from something. It means being vulnerable again. But it also opens up the possibility of a life that isn't just fine. A life where you become the person you always wanted to be. If this resonates with you, if you see yourself in this pattern, that recognition is the first step. You can't heal what you won't face. The decision you made 10 or 20 years ago doesn't have to be permanent. You can change your mind. You can dust off that old dream or create a new version that fits who you are today. What matters is that you're choosing possibility again, instead of settling for safety. If this helped you see something new about yourself, subscribe. We're recreating a space here to talk about these abandoned dreams and question the fears that hold us back. Until next time, ask yourself, what are you so afraid of? And is it worth the life you're living to stay safe from it?